Alright everyone, now let's talk about parallel routes in Next.js. This is a more advanced concept, but very powerful. Let's create an example. Inside the app folder, I create a new route called dashboard. Now inside dashboard, I want to show two different sections. For example, courses and news. To create parallel routes, we use the convention. So I create a folder called @courses, and inside it, I add a page.js file and define a component. Then I create another folder called @news, and again add a page.js file. Now, for these to work, we need a layout inside dashboard. So I create layout.js. And define a component that receives children. At this point, if we go to /dashboard, we see the main layout and the default page. Now, here's the key idea. Inside the layout, we can access these parallel routes using the names we defined. So instead of only children, we also receive courses and news as props. Now we can render them inside the layout. For example, we place courses and news side by side, or wherever we want. As soon as we do this, both pages are rendered in parallel. Now let's make it more dynamic. We can use conditional rendering. For example, define a variable like condition. If it's true, we show courses. If it's false, we show news. So, depending on the condition, we can control which parallel route is displayed. So the idea is simple. Parallel routes allow us to render multiple route segments at the same time or conditionally. And this is very useful for dashboards, complex layouts, or dynamic UI structures.